While many employees had the day off because of the national holiday, many others stayed home because of the weather, and authorities are still trying to determine.
Quite a few. It's gone from bad to worse. That's what the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is saying about road conditions tonight. Much of the evening, they've been responding to accidents like this one near the Cincinnati exit of I-244. 19-year-old Laura Hayes of Tulsa was hurt when another car slammed into her stalled car from behind. Hayes is pregnant. She is listed in stable condition at Osteopathic Hospital. An OHP spokesman says most of the highways in and around Tulsa are still hazardous, and the icy conditions have not improved. Much of the slush created by the sunshine today has now turned into solid ice. Highways and roads throughout northeast Oklahoma are in bad shape too. Efforts to treat the roads helped some today, but tonight they are very slick with a layer of ice, then snow, then more ice. The Highway Patrol is urging drivers to exercise extreme caution if you must drive tonight.
Church officials tonight are keeping a careful watch on the roof of Calvary Temple Assembly of God Church in the 4700 block of West Edison here in Tulsa. Local firefighters were called to that location about 8:30 tonight after church members noticed that the roof had dropped several inches because of the buildup of snow and ice. Unfortunately, there was little the fire department could do, so church officials are now just hoping that the roof is strong enough to keep from collapsing. The weight of the heavy snow was just too much for a Shawnee building today that collapsed and injured 14 people. The roof of a commercial laundry gave way, and that touched off a fire. Workers said there was a series of pops and cracks, and then the roof fell in. The collapse severed natural gas lines, and the gas-fired dryers and ironers were the probable cause of the fire. None of those injured was hurt seriously.
Public service company crews continue to work around the area to restore power tonight. In Coweta, the Tower View Addition now has power again after lines were snapped or were tangled in tree limbs. However, police say some parts of southeast and southwest Coweta are still without electricity. Crews are working there. In fact, PSO is still working in two major areas tonight. 2,000 Tulsa area customers are reportedly still without power.
Oklahoma City, some travelers stranded in the airport overnight. This morning, runway crews finally managed to clear one runway and flights began again. One person who was stranded in Oklahoma City this morning was Lawrence Walsh. The Oklahoma City attorney pointed to the Iran-Contra arms investigation. He was flying to Washington to begin his look into the scandal.
Still to come, Richard Roberts talks about his father's appeals for millions.
And Tulsa pauses with America to remember and to honor Martin Luther King.
Tomorrow on the morning program, the great George Burns.
And the gorgeous Catherine Deneuve. I'm William F. Buckley to talk about the first 6 years of the Reagan administration.
You'll be there, too, on the morning program.
Announcing the best transmission warranty on the road. When AMCO rebuilds your transmission, it will perform like new. Or an AMCO dealer will fix it free. For as long as you own
cleaner, friendlier, have better selections, higher quality meat and produce, that we're more expensive. No way. For over 40 years, Tulsans have depended on Sipes for the absolute finest in grocery shopping and quality merchandise, especially in our meat and produce departments. And if you'll compare our prices, we're as low as anyone in town. And at Sipes, we'll still carry your groceries to the car. Let us serve you Sipes style.
An Okmulgee County Sheriff's Department dispatcher was released unharmed tonight, and the jail escapee who allegedly kidnapped her is now back in police custody. The dispatcher, a prisoner working in the Sheriff's Department as part of the state's prison release program, was taken hostage about 5 o'clock this afternoon. 36-year-old Billy Allen Harrell apparently locked another dispatcher in a cell, took his gun, and escaped with his hostage in the deputy's car. Harrell apparently got out of the car around the Reed Park area here in Tulsa. That's near 41st and Union. The hostage then contacted authorities. Harrell was captured a short time later at his home near the park.
He was armed.
Evangelist Richard Roberts appeared live in the studio to talk about the controversy surrounding his father, Oral Roberts' recent appeals for money. The Roberts ministry has claimed that God told Oral Roberts that Roberts will die if $4.5 million more are not pledged for medical missionaries, and a March deadline was given. Tonight, Richard Roberts said he and his father consider the scholarshiping of all 192 ORU medical students a mandate from God, beginning with Oral's alleged conversation with God last March.
All right, God had spoken to my father and given him a mandate to turn the entire medical school around and scholarship all of those students by the end of March in 1 year's time. Now here we are, less than 90 days away from God's own deadline. And the point isn't the money, though, Clayton. The point is being obedient to send the medical missionaries to the nations of the earth. Now it costs money to do that, and the media is settling in on the money.
Roberts says negotiations are going on with third world countries to provide ORU-trained doctors as part of missionary teams.
The man with a dream was honored in Oklahoma and across the country today. Millions of Americans paused.
This is his 5th